If I had my way, I would say it's Dame Lillard finally gets traded, and our long national nightmare here is over on the will they or won't they. And I actually think most of the Portland Trailblazer fans are going to agree with me at this point, because Dame is never going to outright come out and demand a trade. We all know this. Either he's too loyal, he's too classy, he's too invested, all that. But at the same time, it's now going to be, what, year 12 for Dame? And are you getting closer to winning a title, or are you getting further away? And now it feels like the perfect time, because they do have the 3rd overall pick.
Right.
And this is the time to get the next Dame. This is where you get the next cornerstone. This is where you start building something new. And to be honest, this might be one of the last years you can trade Dame and still get a boatload.
But you're not getting a boatload. Why are you thinking you would get a boatload at a 32-year-old expensive point guard who scores a lot?
Considering Dame has never been to a finals, I think that he is looked at as a winner in the league.
Okay.
And so for that, I think he's looked at as being a winning player, even though he's never won. He doesn't have the stink and the stench on him, like, oh, this guy's just got loser energy, or he's just a good stats, bad team guy, or whatever. I think people respect the hell out of Dame. He is so talented, and his prime is not quite. It's just at the end. It's just at the end. We've seen this happen before for guys like Clyde Drexler and others. Like, you're just at the very end.
See, I think he's perceived as already toward the end. I don't think anybody's going to give up anything serious for him, because that's a problem. You're going to end up giving away for dimes on the dollar.
Dimes on the
like what
dollar?
I did there?
Yeah,
like what I did there?
Look at you, Dad.
Because you look at the different trade opportunities, there's no way you're going to get value back that equals Dame Lillard. Nobody's giving away the house for a 32-year-old scoring guard.
Have you seen the NBA?
Yeah, but I mean, Rudy Gobert was much younger. I mean, it was a terrible trade as is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think he was 27. Dame's 32. The other thing, the Heat, the team that everyone keeps talking about. Do you look at them and say, you know what? We just need another short scorer guy. Everybody needs something different. They need tall wing defenders or tall big men. So I don't think there's any chance that they get the real value for Dame. So here's what I'm doing if I'm the Blazers. I'm making that number 3 pick, because you're also not getting real offers for that. And I'm keeping Dame. And if Dame says, I want to go then, I don't care. I'm not letting him go. I'm building this young core with Dame there. Let Dame try and win with these young guys.
Okay, but everyone's on a different timeline. Like, the young guys, it's going to be too much to ask them to win right away. In the NBA, we know that it takes a bit. It takes a minute. You have to build playoff experience. Nobody does this overnight. And so don't you feel like Dame is better as a trade asset right now, and you can all build together with a young core?
Yeah, no, well, then you have a bunch of young guys. And where is that going to go? You need some older guys to balance out. You can't have a bunch of 21-year-olds who are all going to hit free agency at the same time. That's no way to build a team either. You'll have a huge contract
problem. But you need your old guys to be like Jeff Green and P.J. Tucker and guys like that, not Dame.
Well, honestly, if they can look at the team, they're all about 20 years old. Shaedon Sharpe and Anthony Simons. If they draft, say, Scoot Henderson in number 3, then and then they trade Dame for young assets, they're going to have so many young players that are all going to be, they're going to have to pay at some point. It just is not, there's a way that's a championship team.
Well, listen, with the new collective bargaining agreement, not to bore everybody, but it's going to be hard to keep everybody nowadays anyway. Yeah. You're just hoping that you find the next Dame. And this is your best chance to do it.
Well, you could still draft the next Dame. You're going to try, assume it's Scoot. I don't know. I mean, listen, I have not seen a lot of them play. But draft the next Dame. Here's a 2-part question. Do you think Damian Lillard is really going to play hardball and say, get me out of here, like Kevin Durant in Brooklyn style?
Well, I never thought so, but can we listen to a little of Brian Windhorst? Yep. So it's draft season. All the insiders are working overtime. And Brian Windhorst said this on ESPN today, Dame's plan with the Blazers.
Dame does not want a youth movement. He wants to play with veterans. He wants the team to upgrade fast and immediately with veteran players that can help him. Now, having said that, if the Blazers don't like what they're offered and they use this pick on one of the young players, you're potentially causing a bit of an issue there with Dame Lillard.
Okay, so you're potentially causing an issue. Now, there's also reporting on the other side where the Blazers are determined to build around Lillard. But again, building around him can mean a lot of different things. There's some reporting from Jake Fisher that they're looking to try to package a trade for Bam Adebayo from Miami, that they would give Shaedon Sharpe, Anthony Simons, and the number 3 overall pick for Bam. But again, like, Why is Miami doing that? Why is Miami they were already small in this playoffs, and now you're going to get rid of Bam Adebayo and more Cody Zeller minutes? Hooray.
I don't know. Kyle Lowry, I assume, is a free agent at this point, but can you imagine having Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, Damian Lillard, Jimmy? I mean, how many outside shots can one team take in one game? Yeah. Gabe Vincent.
Who put this team together? Isaiah Thomas? I mean, this is not – Pat Riley's too smart to do something like that.
Well, that's the problem. There are a lot of teams who have a need. If you're trying to beat the Nuggets, which I think is sort of the standard right now.
Should be.
You know, I'm not sure Dame Lillard's the answer. You need a powerful size, big guy. I just don't think, and I've read it a few places, the Blazers do not like the offers they're getting for the number 3 pick or any kind of other package they get together. So they might be stuck here. I mean, you know how, of course, unless Zion Williamson's name is on the board, I just don't see any player coming back that's interesting enough to give up that 3 pick.
Oh, let's talk about Zion, shall we? This is like a day in Zion's life must feel like dog years. Every time this woman that he had an alleged relationship takes to Twitter, I feel like we all age 7 years. She is now threatening to send a sex tape to Adam Silver. And I laughed and I laughed and I laughed. And all I'm hoping is that someone has a camera on Adam Silver when he opens that attachment. Oh, baby.
Oh, I can't even make a joke here. That's
he hasn't
just
seen
too
anything
weird.
like that before. I would pay money not to watch the tape. I could care less about that. I'd pay money to watch Adam Silver's face.
Who's that guy who announces the second round of the draft for the NBA?
That is Assistant Commissioner
Mark Tatum.
Mark Tatum, yes. Yeah, thank you.
If I'm Silver, I'd say, Mark, you look at this one.
Mark,
this is a Mark Tatum job if I've ever seen one.
Are you kidding? I feel like it'd either that way or he's like, everyone gather out. No, do I have something to show you?
Well, what about this? You love sports conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Sports conspiracy theories.
Yes.
Maybe the Blazers GM is in cahoots with Zion's ex-girlfriend saying, hey, I need you to get out there and lower the value of this dude so I don't have to give him number 3 pick.
Now that would be something
That'd
amazing.
be next
That's
level.
Right up my
Belichickian.
Very much so. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. I mean, the question is simple. Is this finally time here for the Blazers? Do they build around Dame? Or is it time to finally sell it off? I want to go off and rebuild. When I say sell off, and trade Dame away.
Give up on Dame.
Let's go to the phones. 855-212-4CBS. Want to get you involved. We know we're on in Portland. This is Dame country. Dylan is in Portland, has a thought on this. Hey, Dylan, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing great.
Good. Hey, I appreciate your guys' perspective because it's usually just the national media doesn't really have the same perspective I think we have here in Portland. I think, I mean, just it being a small market team and Dame being the guy he's been for this community. I mean, I remember being at the George Floyd protests, and he was leading some of the biggest marches in America. And I've met him a few times, and the guy he's different, and he's wired different, and he loves the city, and he's done so much for this city that, I mean, if we don't win a championship with him, I'd still be happy if he retires a Blazer. He's different. It's bigger than basketball when it comes to Dame in this city. And I think that's something that a lot of people in the national media don't necessarily recognize.
You know, Dylan, it's a great point, and it's easy for us to discount it, and thank you so much. But Dame is a figure and a big figure in the community, and I think you applaud Dame for being loyal. Now, listen, they have paid him very handsomely, so it works both ways. But he's been incredibly loyal. It's something we very rarely see these days in sports, and he has put the team over himself in a lot of ways. Here's my question for Dame, though, and this has nothing to do with him. This has everything to do with the era he's playing in. And the era he's playing in is a ring culture era. And it's an era where there could be a danger that people don't remember how great you were unless you've won a ring.
You're saying rings are more important now than they were 40 years ago?
No, I just think the Michael Jordan rings, I think that ring culture is very much a thing where definitely 40 years ago, but
you're saying players are defined by their championships, and when you look at their resumes, I think
the league has done this, by the way. Like they're partially responsible for this.
Well, it's funny because you have that list of 90s players who didn't win a ring but were spectacular, who got thwarted by Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, Patrick Ewing. So I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, Damian Lillard, I don't think he's not so great, though. He's not Charles Barkley, where he
wasn't an MVP.
He wasn't an MVP, so he's the next tier below. But a question, do you really credit guys who sort of chase and get in their late 30s? Like Gary Payton got a ring with Miami.
Yeah.
I don't think that people remember that. I don't think Damian wants that kind of ring.
Well, I think he would probably be a bigger role.
Yeah, I mean, he's 32.
Frankly, I mean, I don't think that he's not out to pasture yet. You know,
Yeah.
I think Dame still has a lot of good years. Obviously, just health is the biggest thing.
I mean, he hasn't signed with the Knicks yet, is what you mean.
Well, now with Jalen Brunson, I don't know if he actually makes a lot of sense.
I don't know. So there's a league bylaw that any post 30 shooting point guard has to go to the Knicks for at least a stint.
At some point, they must wear a Knicks uniform.
Yeah, Derrick Rose, Stephon Marbury.
Part of the new CBA.
Yeah, AI worked out for them once during the summer. Yeah, that is. I don't want him to go to the Knicks, by the way. That I'll just tell you right now. I love Lillard. Like, don't go to the Knicks, dude. It's not going to work. If you get to Miami, do it fine. But I maintain. The way everything is falling out this week, you might as well stay in Portland and try something with these young guys. Then maybe you trade at the deadline. If you think you're any good, get another big guy in at the deadline. Do something. Because you can't just trade him just to get rid of him, just because he wants to. You need something real value in return.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is where they're lucky, where they have the third pick in what is perceived to be a 3-person draft.
Yeah.
So that's a better place than you've been in. It's, this is an asset that you have. We know Simons must clearly be available, or else his name wouldn't be mentioned all the time like this. I don't know about Shaedon Sharpe. I thought they like Sharpe and they want to keep Sharpe, but who knows?